Yo, welcome back to another episode of Rap Parlee. It's me, it's your boy Bruce Midnight, and of course, always with me, H2O, the legend rapper.
You bitch you.
As well as the man, the myth, the returning OG, Zachariah Sanchez, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
If you don't really remember him, which I can't believe, fuck you if you don't. He's a local legend. He's a musician. He makes fantastic beats, and he's one of the OG members of the show. Like without him, we probably would not be where we are today. So I'm fucking geeked to have you back on the show. We're geeked to be back and everything. So for this episode, we're gonna talk about. This is actually gonna be part one of the culture episode. So this kind of part or this little mini series is gonna kind of focus on the in-depth culture of rap and hip hop music. So generally, we know that like hip hop itself is a very broad term, and it's almost like a lifestyle in itself. And rap is kind of the more narrowed down kind of topic or area of the culture of hip hop. So I really want to delve into some of the culture and a lot of the influences, other aspects. So today we're going to really focus on like style, fashion, and like general overall sound and influence and these kind of things. So like I said, we all know that like we're going to start with fashion, but we all know that like obviously fashion is a really big part, and we have a lot of big influence in this game. People like fucking Drake, obviously Kanye West, Kid Cudi, and like A$AP Rocky and shit like that. Like you can't talk about fashion without talking about these names. But why do you feel like these people were able to be such fashion revolutionaries? Like, what did they really do to help, like, make shit super popular besides obviously being a big, popular, famous rapper? What else did they really do to help, sell this?
I think it's about taking what is already there and just shifting it in a different light. I think Virgil always said the best thing about design is just changing a design by like 10%. And then keep it going with something new, just like how he did with the Nike Off-White collab, the top 10.
God bless the dead.
Yeah. Okay, I can kind of see that. It's weird because I think it definitely falls that or it really goes back to how like nothing is original anymore. So it's really just about what idea can you currently take and kind of modify to a certain extent. I also kind of think it's definitely like the way the music can kind of speak to people also kind of helps influences, because that's the one thing about rap music in general is it's a very braggadocious kind of lifestyle. So like niggas are always flexing and talking about the things that they have, and niggas want these things. This is a representation. This is it equates to some kind of status. Word. Back in the day, especially early 90s, everybody was fucking wearing big ass chains and like all that kind of shit, and everybody had like all the certain clothes and certain shit was really really in. Mm. Like we were talking about it, like Coogee was popular as fuck at one point. Hell yeah. Shouts out to OJ the Juice Man.
Shout out to Biggie, nigga.
Shouts out to Biggie.
Always stay with a Coogee sweater, bro.
But we have brands like that and shit like that. But again, like over time and time it kind of falls off. But like I'm trying to think, we have some people who I feel like are far more impactful than others, and like we have artists like Pharrell, for example. Like Pharrell and Tyler the Creator have like been a major impact, not only with the way that people like dress, but also the way that they act.
I was also going to like add on to say like the people that you named also have like they also have a big quality that they all like similarly have, even in their music, to where they're aware of the times and of sound, whether it be music or fashion. Even with like trying new things as well, experimenting is also a big thing with them. Like even though it might not be what everybody's doing at the moment, it still can make a big impact, whether it be in fashion or in music. Like when I feel like the Red Octobers, when Yeezy dropped those, it was just as important as when he made Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like it had a big impact in fashion, just like how his music did. So
yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. It's kind of more like I'm almost still curious about like. Obviously, not everybody has the braggadocious mentality and things like that. But even though when he's talking about rapping with like having this stuff, why is this music so like, it's crazy because I'm one of the people that's affected by it. So like, you listen to certain music and then you really want to try to recreate that lifestyle and that kind of thing. Obviously, that's not always the best kind of idea depending on whatever's going down.
Yeah.
But what do you guys feel like that's like? Why do you think that happens? Why do you think when people like? You really think just really aspire to be the rapper in any kind of sense, or is it just like they aspire to try to get that kind of status and respect? Like,
I think it's the lifestyle. I want to say, like, I feel like they want to get to live in that lifestyle to where they can be all about fashion and being braggadocious, not really knowing that you're still living your actual regular life that you was living before all that. When it was just about music or whatever the case may have been at the time. So I think a lot of them just like worship the lifestyle, but not really anything else. I think they just love the lifestyle, really.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
And it's also something like, because I just went to go see Tyler. It's crazy to see how much praise that these artists get. And, you know, it might be a reflection of like people wanting to feel that praise.
Yeah.
Wanting to know that they got the swaggiest outfit when they walk down the street. They got the most fire shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, people do love it. Like, you know, everybody, you feel good when somebody's like, oh, bro, I love your shoes, or I love that jacket.
Like,
that
yeah,
kind of
even
thing.
if you're not like performing, like if you notice, like even when people go to concerts, they put on their best shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like if they was on stage, the shit that they wearing, oh, this shit just as hot as whatever the person is wearing on stage, even if it's streetwear.
So then it really turns into being like, is it kind of gone in a negative direction then? Because then this is like where you get the birth of like this whole idea is how we created the hype beast, and how like now people are after certain clothes and certain brands, things like that because of that kind of recognition. And I feel like it's taken away from fashion in a sense, because fashion again. It used to be a lot more open. It's still pretty open, you know, you dress how you want, but like now people are specifically picking certain brands and doing these kind of things to get like people are, I feel like they're going out of their way for recognition. And then again, we're going to talk about one of the bigger brands that's in that is like, you know, Supreme, and that one's always been a big part of the culture. And now it's kind of definitely washed over now with how many people have been into it. Like, you know, people don't fuck with it because it's too mainstream now and shit like that. But I kind of feel like people are not into it necessarily for just because they're into it for the compliments. They're into it to get recognized versus just dressing for the way that you want to dress and because, you know, this shit you like.
Like I was saying, like off cam, it's more so like it's trendy now. It like you said, it's so-called mainstream, but it's basically like trendy and not exclusive. It has no real like artistic value anymore. Like I remember when I used to only see you in Supreme. Now it's like I could go. You could walk outside and see anybody in that shit.
Oh, for sure.
Whether it be a box logo or just something that has Supreme on it. You know what I'm saying? Like
people do it for the hype, and it's definitely like I think the hype beast like has definitely hurt fashion in like this in a negative kind of way. But I think some of the artists too have helped like kind of oversell it. Like it was weird because when Tyler was talking about Supreme and shit, it was still really really low key. But when Rocky started talking about it, it was definitely like. It was definitely everywhere at that kind of point.
Well, you gotta think
I want to say I felt like that was a peak, but continue.
You gotta think about A$AP Rocky was way popular than Tyler at that time.
100%.
So, I mean.
But people weren't fucking with it like they were. I feel like it really got more popular because of Tyler versus Rocky.
But that's interesting. When do you think Supreme got popular?
Mainstream or in general?
Oh, just hype beast wise.
Really, the shit picked up, honestly, probably by like 2014, 2015, and it was really the brick. When they did the fucking brick, and I started hearing a lot of like people who don't even fuck with this like kind of shit were talking about the brick. Yeah, because I got really defensive in the sense because like one of my biggest issues is that people are like, oh, shit's overpriced, all this, but it's like that's resale, bro. Yeah, that's just it's just the whole resale market. Literally. That's how that works. It's not like but I think that's when the brick, whenever the season of the brick popped out, I think that's when it really started to really flood.
But that was after Obey and Stu's, like, because there was a time where all the skate brands actually were elevating. I feel like Obey was really big, Stussy was really big.
I think a big part of it too is because these brands that started in skate culture had started to transform because skate culture is a part of streetwear culture in general.
Obey was his own thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was a part of Supreme.
Obey is his own thing. Okay. And like again, it's all part of streetwear. But there was a part where streetwear started turning black. And when it started turning black, you had these certain brands that definitely got behind and support. And again, Supreme was one of these people that kind of supported it. Stussy was kind of in there, but it definitely still stayed true to its whole skatewear culture. Yeah. Obey just kept doing its own thing. And that one kind of like died down a little bit. People didn't really stay into it for like too long. Stussy, though, in my opinion, has held itself pretty fucking solid. Like it's not dying down, but it's consistent as fuck. Yeah. But like I think that was a big part is that like, you know, these brands started turning black and then people, you know, that just, you know, kind of got more into it because obviously rap culture is predominantly a black thing and then it is a major popularity or, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah. That's right.
So it just hype beasts have kind of like, you know, changed the direction for it. Fashion is not what it was. And I feel like rappers have definitely like helped contribute towards that. Like, oh, I gotta have this. Like for me, it's a little bit different. Like I'm a collector, so I love it. Like I don't have my shark hoodies because of fucking West Side Gun or because of these other people. I got these because these are staple pieces for Bape. Like, I've always been a fan of Bape, and I've loved, like, I don't have any Bapesters. Like, I don't have any Snoot shoes because I don't fuck with the shoes like that. But I understand these are, like, shit that, like, Lil Wayne, Currency, Kanye West, and Kid Cudi definitely put out there.
Straight up.
And it's still crazy, though, because even stuff like that, though, is not getting, like, the recognition. It's still not getting crazy recognition. Like, Bape is still consistent, but it's not on the same level as Supreme, in my opinion.
True.
It definitely was. I feel like a lot of things have risen and then fell off.
Oh, 100%. That's usually kind of how it goes for that kind of
And
thing.
I think it normally happens when it starts to go outside of hip hop. Because like you said, like when Kanye West, when Kid Cudi, when Lil Wayne, when fucking Soulja Boy. Can't forget about Soulja Boy.
Oh, yeah, because he was a big, my bad. Yeah,
Nah, real
Soulja
shit,
Boy
but, like,
was a giant Bape
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean,
made a song about that shit. And I feel like once it starts to get recognized in different avenues of creativity or just in general, like in regular human life, when you see people wearing that shit, it just starts to like die down a little bit because now everybody can get it.
We have people like, but like, you know, it's been interesting. We have people like Pharrell as well, because remember Tyler created his own brand. Pharrell created his own. You know, we're having new streetwear brands and things, you know, pop up and everything like that, which is dope in my opinion. You know, there's definitely really original ideas. They're super dope, but it's also weird because they're not necessarily getting. Like, I just don't, like, for example, I don't see that much BBC shit. Excuse me, that much anymore. Like, nobody's really fucking with it. And it was really expensive at first. It was definitely, like, only a select few people could do it. But I really don't see it, like, again, everybody in there. Like, when I was in Japan, everybody in there, like, I saw more Supreme. Everybody and their mom, because I'm going to finally get that stupid statement out, was wearing it more than anything.
Straight up.
Which I didn't think it was a bad thing, though, because it gets old to be a rarity. Like, I got a buddy who literally fucking hates the brand because we were in San Francisco in time and a bunch of little kids, like younger kids, geeked out over my box logo hoodie, and for me it's just a regular hoodie, but they're just like, oh my god, this is the coolest shit in the world, like, and I'm just like, but it's not about that type of shit, you know?
It's about the history.
Yeah, it's just, for me it's about the history and just like, you know, the shit. Like, I'm more into like older pieces. Okay, so who do you feel like, obviously we talked about the big names, but who are some other people who you feel like are big influence or have been a big influence in the fashion aspect sense before we transition to the you know, just around sound? But who do you feel like is not talked about or is underrated in that kind of sense?
I'll let y'all rock that one.
I just thought it was interesting that earlier you said Drake. Because I wouldn't think of Drake as a fashion icon for the culture and hip hop, but it is also funny because he does have collabs with like Nike and Jordan, and he's literally releasing a shoe that looks like a scalene triangle.
Yes.
Straight up.
So specific with the triangle.
Fuck.
Oh my god, you guys are taking me back right now.
Oh my god.
I think I would say Drake just because of, again, his general influence and like the OVO thing. Yeah, it's more of a collab versus its own brands, but it's just like it's enough to be like recognizable and sell out quickly and considered popular. It's kind of like but it doesn't have the same oomph as like Travis Scott's collabs, in my opinion.
I think his is another reason why his shit is so popular because it's like how Supreme and all them was back in the day. They were exclusive. So now once he gets to the mainstream, it's up. Once you hear Nike, it's like.
It is, because I would agree with that completely, because you're right, because OVO doesn't come around. OVO's not like in stock all the fucking time. OVO collabs happen every, you know, a little while.
You know what I'm saying? It literally, whenever he decides to drop some shit.
Yeah.
Because like the shoes came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
they were new, and I remember like some older collab stuff, but it's definitely different from the Travis Scott effect, where it's just like the Travis shit sells the fuck out as quickly as shit.
But that's the audience.
But you're right, because the McDonald's collab, in my opinion, was garbage as fuck, and that shit sold out. This nigga collaborated with fucking McDonald's. Like, what a weird ass fuck. First of all,
bro,
that's a sellout fucking corp. That's a sellout collab, in my personal opinion.
Really?
I don't fuck with Travis Scott for that shit.
Okay, what about Kanye?
I was about to say that too. I was just about to say that. My nigga, I was just about to say that.
Man, I don't really like to want to make comments.
Yeah, speak on your mans, bro.
He's doing a lot.
No, keep it short. Keep it short.
I know.
Keep it short, but keep it 100.
Look, it's the same shit. It's the same shit to an extent, but I've always felt like Travis Scott is a BS clone of Kanye West, because to me,
Kanye and Kid Cudi, I would say.
Yeah, he's a BS clone of those two, basically, because he's basically has the entire like hype behind him, but without any of the actual musical backing and talent, in my opinion. But like he's definitely kind of copied them in that sense. But Kanye, yes, if the Kanye collab is like this and they're still clothes and shit like that, yeah. Because even with the shit with Gap, it's just kind of like.
I meant to ask you about them hoodies.
They're not the designs. No, fuck no.
Okay.
I don't think the designs are that great. I'm not a big
but
fan.
I think it's the texture.
That's what people are.
Bro, it's the fabric, bro. Like it's just the like, bro. It make you look like the Michelin Man, bro.
Oh, yeah,
You're talking about the jacket.
The jacket and the hoodie
Actual
though, like it's just like, bro, it's too big for
One
me,
of the
man.
jackets, this nigga was, he was like looking in the mirror. He was like, God, Kanye, this shit is terrible, nigga. This shit is terrible.
Bro, he was like, picture me arguing with my girl and this shit. I was weak as fuck.
And like the design is just weird. But so for an artist who I think not as well known as, I like to go to like Currency. And I think for me, and again, because I'm a big Currency fan in general, until I started listening to Currency, nigga, I had never thought about spending $100 on a pair of sweatpants. Now, to own some Bape sweatpants is like a fucking goal for me. To like have that, because he to me sold being cozy as a thing. Like he inspired me to be fucking cozy and baller at the same time. Because that nigga doesn't wear, he just wears sweats all day.
Anything cozy, jeans. Bro, I'm for it, bro.
Like the cozy boy, like, cozy tapes. Ace shouts out to ASAP Mob. I'm just trying to be cozy all season, baby. That's all just what season, it is. Nigga. But like I would definitely say I feel like Currency doesn't get enough credit in that kind of sense, because he's definitely inspired like a very more chilled out kind of like, style and inspiration, but because he fucks with Bape and shit like that very heavy. And like, I feel like the people who fuck with Bape are the true fashion OGs in my opinion. Because they've been in the game for a fucking minute. Yeah. And they've been doing this shit for a while. And Bape is not fucking cheap either. No. Like that is on some big exclusive shit to really start fucking with Bape like that. I remember we was
in Cali and we was in our one store. You showed me some shorts and I literally looked at that tag and was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just what it is. And Bape, it's just like that. I'm trying to think. If I was going to, obviously, I don't feel like this person is necessarily under influence. We haven't talked about him. I'm not a fan. Fucking Playboy Cardi. Definitely like, I don't even know what to say necessarily more of a fashion icon, but I think he's a perfect segue into the next part, because he's somebody who has been a big influence sound-wise. Like, next to the mumble rappers, the nigga is starting. Nobody else has really picked up Baby Talk though, at least that I've noticed. But that's his shit.
645 AR.
I've heard of them.
I haven't really listened to that much shit. But like he's inspired the Baby Talk, and like he's inspired that kind of sound. And like we have older people. Obviously, like Kanye, was definitely a forefront for the whole backpack rap, and we have the whole debate with fucking like what is it, like Jeezy, fucking Future. For starting mumble rap and shit.
Do you consider A$AP Rocky a fashion icon?
Weirdly enough, yes. But it's like, okay, so Rocky to me is a fashion icon, and it's about how he presents himself in the shit he raps about, because that's most of the shit he raps about is fashion shit. Yeah. And it's because he's a fashion icon because this nigga is a rapping model. That's what it is. It's not because he makes his own collab or his own brands. It's because he models so much shit. Yeah. Like one of the videos I saw for Aria, those song that him and Nigo did. Shouts out to Nigo, by the way, on the fashion episode. Straight up. He's wearing the fucking Gucci North Face the Gucci North Face collab shit, and it's just like of course he's always fresh as fuck. He's a rapper. He's got rapper money, but that nigga's more of like a fashion icon in the model sense. And to me, that's also his biggest downfall for him music or his general music career. Because I feel like we've covered this a lot, but that nigga he's just more about the fashion than he is about the rapping music. Like I always felt like he could have been one of the best in the goddamn game, but he just wanted to model more than anything. At least that's just how I feel. Yeah.
This is the fashion episode. I'm not gonna comment on what you just said. A$AP. He said A$AP could be one of the best in the game.
Yeah, he could have been. I think the time has passed now.
I believe that.
Go ahead and say it.
I'm about to say A$AP Berg is way better than A$AP Rocky.
So the door's right there. Yeah. And you can leave at will. I'm just like...
I'll say...
Shabba? Work? Plain Jane?
Bro, this is the fashion episode, bro.
And also, you really got to check A$AP Ferg's drip.
This is a hard...
He got his own do-rag line. He had watches. He had belts. Like, he really... is repping the underground New York.
No, and I'm not just here's the thing. I'm not disagreeing with any of that shit though. You're not wrong. But because I think lyrically Rocky's just a lot better, and I think he makes that shit that just hits a little bit harder. Because don't get me wrong, you definitely named some good ass singles, and most of Rocky's albums are just fucking C grade albums to me. But it has a lot of Goldie, nigga, fucking
I'll give you
like
this.
fucking
Albums,
yeah, like he's got a lot of good ass.
Yeah,
fucking
now that I think about it, Rocky has the better discography, but I feel like there's one album. The one album is because were y'all a fan of Floor Seats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
No, go ahead and say it. And by the way, we can jump into it because we're still talking about music in general. Like I want to. We can because I want to.
I will
express
agree
yourself.
with you with Ferg's drip though. Like
Ferg's
his
drip is nice.
is like he's another
jiggy,
one that's like he's jiggy but he's cozy. Like he's cozy, bro. Like
he's definitely cozy. I think that was the biggest issue to me with the whole ASAP mob is they're more of a fashion collective than they are a rap group, especially now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just the time in New York, though.
Yeah.
Really, because you got to think about who came out at that time. It was like Kerwin Frost too. It was another model, Luca Sabat.
Yeah.
It was just New York. That was the fashion area. At
It
that
still
time.
is.
I'll even put in like even around that time Joey Badass's drip was
His shit
a
in the
high
beginning.
level drip.
Yeah, his shit in the very beginning was super high level. And don't get me wrong, that's always been because that's fashion's huge in New York. Of course, that's a big thing. But I'm just saying, like the group got to the point where they didn't really stop making a lot of music, and they just started doing other shit.
Yeah,
we're gonna
be
close.
creative.
We had like V Lone and all that other shit show for a fat minute, and then obviously Barry fucked that up for himself. But yeah.
But I mean, also ASAP Nas, he's another fashion dude, and
Yes, but like he just doesn't have the popularity that he wishes he had. That's just how I feel.
Definitely.
Like he don't get me wrong.
But it's
like,
interesting because he had like the collabs with Converse.
Yeah.
He's done stuff with like Prada and Gucci. Like
and don't remember people. He's definitely got like more collabs than Rocky has for sure. Because Rocky just has that popularity.
Okay.
Right, it's the popular because I can't really think of too many big like I can think of more Ferg shit in terms of clothing and branding than I can necessarily say for Rocky because Rocky again to me is just a model.
Yeah, I think he had like an Adidas collab.
And Rocky also had a collab with like Paxson or some shit or Zoomies.
Oh yeah,
I remember that was like
the
the
ASAP Worldwide.
Yeah, they have that kind of shit. Yeah, that's always been a thing. But again, the transfer going back to sound and things, saying Playboy or going back to talking about Playboy Cardi being big on the new starting to push that. Who are some other people do you feel like aren't as well known that are also changing things? Because like I thought Ski Mask was for a second, but nobody really picked up on his shit. Nobody else really kind of went with that.
I haven't really paid attention to his style, so I can't really.
Yeah, I occasionally listen to it.
You're talking about sound though, right?
Sound, yeah.
Sound, I haven't really paid. After his first album, I didn't really listen to like the intro to it is phenomenal. Like that's what like brought me into it. His first album, but everything else like I haven't really paid attention to it.
Yeah, I mean Ski Mask is really insane with the lyrics.
Yeah, 100%. And
how he flows over beats.
Yeah,
it's very one of a kind. But I think the problem was he came in with X, like that kind of crowd.
Yeah, he came in and people were really iffy about that kind of crowd because they were on some extra shit.
Well, I mean, it's a mosh pit crowd. So.
But it was like weird because it was like weird reminiscence of early Tyler by saying some crazy fucked up shit, but it just wasn't like the same, Like I always quote this moment when I went to when I actually saw XXX live and he was playing "Look at Me," and I just still think of the line like I took this white bitch to Starbucks. That little bitch got her throat fucked, like nigga. But then again, one of my favorite Tyler lines is I said fuck coke now. No need for the mattress. I said fuck coke and now I'm snorting Hitler's ashes. Rape a pregnant bitch and tell my friends I had a threesome. Kind of almost on the same level of like severity and how wild the shit is. But for some reason, like one of them I just was like, okay, cool. And the other ones were just kind of like, nigga, that's a lot.
Well, I think it's the connotation that surrounds it. Like I would compare X and then like Ski Mask and a lot of people at that time with their sound also to like people who really enjoy hardcore music.
Like heavy metal.
Yeah, because the drums, the bass are aggressive. And that
hella
was what they were doing with Ski. And then X, the 808 was hella distorted. It sounded like you were inside the car when the bass was turned all the way up. But you just listened to the music on your phone. Because Playboy Cardi kind of has the same aesthetic, but he took it to like he's a vampire now, and then took away the rough and the weights.
God, oh my God, that whole ass fucking, and it's so.
I'll be
fucked
honest.
up.
I like Cash Cardi more than Vamp Cardi. Like Cash Cardi.
Cash Cardi. Oh, Cash Cardi was still trash to me, but I fucking.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, but like
Cardi.
on the first Cozy tapes, he was floating.
Oh
like,
yeah, 100%. But also,
sure.
you know what else is funny? I feel like this artist was inspired by like Tyler directly, and I think it was like a kind of a good change. Even though like like Rich Brian, though I will say this, his music was better as Rich Chicken, 110%. Yes, it was.
No,
nigga.
it wasn't.
But I feel like he was a big artist who was definitely inspired by people like Tyler, because he kind of got a little bit more in like the singing side for some of his music. It got a little bit more artsy and a little bit more open, but it was also more emotional, which I kind of also like that as well. He wasn't, because when he first came on the scene, it was definitely like hardcore raps and shit like that. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick pause because I gotta like do some technical shit. So give me 1 second, and we're back. All right, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry about that, y'all. So yeah, like I was saying, Rich Brian, heavily inspired by Tyler the Creator. But again, you know, talking about sound and style. So you know, YouTube being artists and people who create music and that kind of stuff. And we'll start with Mr. Sanchez over here. So who has been some of your biggest influences, and you know what have been some of your biggest influence besides just artists? Just like what has influenced your fashion sense and the way that you go about making music? Well, I'm also going to take a bong rip if you're cool with that.
Yeah, you're good. My first, I would say, is Ye all day. I remember in high school, I would literally, like at the beginning of each week, I would look up, pictures of Ye wearing blue or wearing red, just trying to see different ways he would style these colors and different ways he would style fabrics, and see how I can use the things in my wardrobe or just the things I find from the thrift to kind of embody something of a higher echelon. And then after a while with that, I mean, I guess I would say I really got into like what they would call nerdcore, which kind of developed into this like athleisure kind of vibes. With you were talking about the Coogee and just wearing like John Elliott and stuff like that. Just stuff that is wow. Stuff that
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's like I hit the rip.
I'm sorry. I'm
like,
sorry.
I just felt dry.
He said, "Oh my God, I'm high now. Yeah. Oh my God,
I'm high now.
I'm high now."
But as a,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but nerdcore, and now like that turning into gorpcore with like the Crocs, and just really the Crocs, and then the Merle Hydro Mocs, which are crazy going right now. I'm really also into Japanese Americana, so like Sui Coke, engineered garments, needles, all that shit's really fire. And then as of recently, Tyler and his fashion, just the way he puts shit together,
same.
and also he literally brought back loafers. Like you would just be seeing regular people.
Like his
loafers.
dress casual game is like pretty fire. Like for him to be of his age and be wearing something that's like formal in a sense.
He's actually inspired me to now shift from as much streetwear as I have in my closet to a little bit more into that kind of style. But I want to keep it like that kind of fly until I'm finding my way for it though.
Because normally like I'm just like a real streetwear cozy type of nigga. Like I don't really like get into more of so like the high fashion unless it's something that I truly like got my eye on. But
you find all the really, in my personal opinion, because with your style, just because we hang out a lot, I like it because you have this weird, it's like this weird, like, it almost be like you got shit from like Hot Topic, but you didn't, because you get all that real cool ass like shit that's from the cult. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this. You didn't get the fucking the Hot Topic Yu Yu Hakusho tee. You got like some crazy random Yu Yu Hakusho tee.
No, for sure. Like I take pride in that a lot, just because of like, again, like you see the shit you see in Hot Topic, you see damn near everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like really want to like put some shit together when you know the next man probably got that shit. So for me, like I definitely like I said, take pride in that. I also got inspired like doing that from Ye. Like Ye was another one. Like it may not have been Polo, but it was just as popular as Polo. And he'll had a collar turned up, like, or when he was wearing Bape, like around that time he was wearing like some of the Bape stuff he was wearing, everybody wasn't wearing. You know what I'm saying? Like he was another one that was very like low key vintage, but still like exclusive on the same side. Like he knew how to put colors together. That's what I really fucked with Kanye for around that time.
Okay.
Like back in his I want to say like college dropout late registration days. Like
It's funny too. Me being a big Ye fan, he actually never really inspired me too much in terms of clothes.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually more of a mentality kind of thing, is what I picked up from him. But it was
Yeah,
never
that too,
really
yeah.
like, because I've always fucked with the Kanye style. It just wasn't for me. And like I grew up again really liking, like I was like I had nigga I like had a shit ton of DCs. Like I was in that kind of like that thing for a little while. Go because you
No, I
smirking.
just wanted to say, I feel like if you would dress in ways that are not your style, you would actually really like it. Because I was thinking about you wearing a Tyler fit, like him with a red fucking cardigan, white t-shirt, khaki pants, and some loafers.
With a briefcase.
And you know what's
With
crazy?
a briefcase.
I know, but the thing is, I'm actually trying to get into that kind of shit. And actually, you know what? Because you brought that up, I'm just gonna show you guys. I thought it was fucking funny, real quick. I'll have to I'll post a picture up for everybody to see it because I am low key thinking about getting this cardigan. I've been not. I thought about it. I was just like, you know, it's a Supreme cardigan. Randomly enough, it's interesting.
I see it.
Okay,
I see it.
okay.
No,
Yeah, okay.
Like I immediately see it.
Okay,
I see it.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
can see it.
I can see that. for
Yeah,
sure.
no, it's funny, but 100%. But yeah, Tyler definitely 100%. I actually did not. I actually really got into Supreme because of reselling. That's funny. I started off as a reseller, and then I got a piece, and I really fell in love with it, and from there I just switched the game on that.
Yeah.
I don't fucking make music, at least not at the moment. But like, who inspired you guys music wise? Like, so I know you you make beats. So who, as a producer, who are some people you looked up on that aspect? But then at the same time, like, what got you into playing instruments and things like that, and the band started getting into bands?
Oh, I'll also say Kanye West and Skrillex, actually. I remember hearing Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites on the radio, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm used to listening to, Do the Stanky Leg and Chicken Noodle Soup, and I'm hearing monsters on the radio with robots. And I was like, wow. And then seeing like him doing festivals and shit, and I was like, this is actually somewhere where the producer can get some shine. They don't just have to rap about doing all these other shit. So, yeah.
I guess as far as producer wise, because I mean, we can talk about my rapper choices all day, but as far as producer, I'd say like we were just talking about earlier, Dilla, Alchemist. I've been really like fucking with like the raw hip hop sounds. Like I feel like that I love to my core, but I also say, and of course, Ye, like with production, of course, like that goes without saying. But
I'm also gonna say early Kenny Beats, like his shit with Rico Nasty.
yeah,
I'm a killer. I love
the
Dirty 808.
I love Unlocked. That shit was
Okay, you like
Unlocked.
Okay,
I love
interesting.
Unlocked.
I've liked a lot of Kenny Beats' work. I really did fall in love with the Unlocked project. I thought that to me was I think him and Denzel Curry have something. Like that to me was incredible. Like
I agree.
yeah, it's one of those weird tag teams that I think really works in a great kind of way. So, because I know we were like going we're gonna circle back real quick into fashion because we kind of talked about this for a quick second. Sorry guys, it was some off the camera shit. But Mr. Zachariah Sanchez had a statement.
You put me on the spot.
Yeah, I mean like
That's what happens when you come here.
It
Like,
You
is.
should know this.
I didn't have my words properly. But what I was basically saying is that streetwear became mainstream when styles stopped being segregated.
Big facts.
I definitely agree with that, and I think that's kind of an interesting thought too because I guess me personally, I haven't really thought of it. But yeah, I think that's really what it was. But I feel like in a weird way, streetwear wasn't. I don't think it was completely segregated because it was originally like a skater to thrasher culture, and that was already having some weird ass relationship with like hip hop and rap, which is like I guess we can all pretty much feel comfortable saying it's black culture.
Mm-hmm.
And they've always had some kind of weird like little link or whatever, but like so that's why I feel like I wouldn't say it's I feel like maybe not entirely segregated all the time, but I get what you're saying.
The only reason why I bring up that statement is because when you start bringing skater culture, like something like that,
Yeah,
skater culture, I mean, at least I see a lot of people. Well, skater culture is LA based.
Yeah.
right?
Not New York based.
It is
not
a lot New York based,
yeah.
but mostly it is LA based. And I would just say with hip hop, at least at the very beginning, skating was not a pillar of hip hop.
Not at all. Oh yeah, yeah, of course, not at all.
And it was only through, I guess, the 2000s, maybe early 90s. I don't really know about skater culture in general, but
I think early 90s definitely. Late 90s, early 2000s, 100% for sure. I think what it was is that like it's the rebelliousness of the skater culture and the kind of rebelliousness and the of like rap in a sense, because I wouldn't actually even say the rap music was rebellious. It was just like the impact and how powerful and like, you know, the message that was being displayed through this art form, and especially this new art form that is like predominantly black at the time. I think it was just like those two having that kind of similarity of like, again, the kind of like a rebel similarity, just for the context to make it quick. And I think that's also what kind of brought them together. But like, I also think it was just like, again, skating was not a forefront, but there were other aspects I feel that were like also connected in terms of what people were doing and like the shit they were really into. Because like hip hop did start to become popular about people who were not black for a while. Like people early on were fucking with Wu-Tang. Like,
Yeah.
especially because the fan base now is like a majority white, and it's like weird.
But then I'll also go to this because I was thinking about this as well. In like elementary school or even high school, and obviously I went to school after you guys, but I don't remember the kids who may have been white or just raised in different neighborhoods wearing Rockaware or wearing Anisi or wearing Jordans. At least for me, they weren't on the same tip as the black kids, we would say.
I would never say, weirdly enough though, like Coogee and like Rockaware, to me, those aren't like streetwear brands though.
But in that time, they were.
They were like...
They were.
No, because I see what you're saying. Maybe it's just because I feel like rap music...
Because like True Religions?
Rap music was doing
Yeah.
Rap music was doing so much though of its own thing for like a good fat minute that like that shit was just what black people wore. That was part of that was just a part of the rap culture. And like that's what I'm saying.
So isn't that what we're talking about?
I mean, yes, that's what we're talking about.
I mean, bro, at the end of the day, culture is black.
I mean,
That's a whole nother discussion.
If we gonna put it on the line, like, yeah. Continue, bro.
Okay, what about Ed Hardy? When hip hop started really wearing Ed Hardy, where are the white people?
Because you only heard it. That's what I'm saying. Because you only heard it in the streets. And who is in the streets, bro?
I get it. I'm not disagreeing with this. I'm saying that yes, these things happen. So like, okay, what I'm saying is that like, I almost for some reason it's because of like that. I just feel like that skater aspect was It was such a big like spotlight for the streetwear part. Yeah. It was the main thing. I almost feel like that's why, because it just feels like those brands. I mean, you're not wrong. These are definitely how these like people and how everything got up there. But this is just like, it was almost so much before white culture really started touching this music. Is I kind of what I'm expressing. So like that means when that fusion did happen, when the skateboarding part, all that shit, that's when like white culture started touching it. So that's why it's almost like those brands were just so like. That's why I say it wasn't streetwear. It was like it was just like the lifestyle, which I know that I was like within the same. I'm trying to really figure out how to express what I'm saying. Is it like
no? Because now I'm starting to remember like really back early in the days, like the early '90s or early 2000s. Those when all the super dope dunk collabs actually came out, like the Oompa Loompas, the Bears. Like all the super dope dunk collabs, which are SBs, came out at that time,
and that's when sneakers started getting popular. So that's again when it's weird bringing that up now. They like explain the whole thing. Just
I feel like there's a new dunk collab every other week.
Oh, for sure, dunks.
Like I just seen some Bart Simpsons.
Everything's still hot. But I mean, and then again, that was some of the trade offs we got. Like black culture got into it. Sneakers became like a multicultural thing. Everybody loves fucking sneakers now. So like, it's what kind of helped. But like, I don't know. I still just feel like those brands like Coogee and all that shit was just so like, just black exclusive because you really didn't like streetwear now. Everybody wears that shit. Everybody fucking wears Supreme, but not everybody's gonna wear Coogee. And I get it that like like obviously rap culture is like streetwear too as well. It just seemed like it almost transcended that because it was so special, and streetwear is not in that same kind of vibe. It's special, but like universally special. But that was special to like Black America.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I've been trying to fucking express. Sorry, high shit.
Okay, so I guess then maybe we should talk about hip hop related streetwear versus just streetwear.
But then again, like what streetwear is like not like considered like
what's
or we want to say hip hop fashion versus streetwear.
Or
because I guess there is a difference then, right? If that's kind of your point that you're trying to get.
Are we going with hip hop fashion or even almost like rap fashion? Because
I would say hip hop. I would say
hip hop. Okay. I was about to consider them one the same, but now I'm starting to see
I want to
the
say
difference.
yes, but for the context of just for the purpose of arguing. I'll give one example. I feel like hip hop because there's a distinction between rap and hip hop.
For sure.
But like I just feel like in like rap streetwear, if I want to call it that, that's when the niggas are wearing like bulletproof vests as part of the fit.
Wait. I thought you were just about to say like big ass chains, but that's hip hop still.
Like I just
That's
don't feel like
hip-hop.
that's necessarily hip hop because it's more on the lighter side. Because like that shit's like, it's fuck. They try to make this shit cool looking. It's literally niggas will wear that shit. Supreme dropped a vest like not too long ago. Thought about it, but I didn't get it.
I mean, no, that's the trapper. That's the trapper hustle.
Yeah.
Didn't you get the lifeguard joint?
Yeah, I got the lifeguard.
All right, for sure.
Yeah.
But that was a couple summers ago. That was a weird time because people started wearing like fanny packs.
Yeah,
and
all that shit popped back up.
I was wearing the vest around the time.
Yeah,
and shit.
But that popped back up. Fucking overalls are back in, so all this shit like again it all rotates and whatnot. Waiting for that jogger game to come back.
Bro, I've been bringing that shit back.
Yeah,
bro.
but people still
tracksuits, sweatsuits.
We had a
bro. That's cozy shit for me, bro.
This nigga
like,
came at me about wearing joggers before.
Yeah, because I mean at that time it was like he must be an old man because he's wearing joggers because nobody else was wearing joggers. Like
you did have a nice jogger set though. I mean,
jogger pants.
He invested a lot of money in his joggers.
They're really comfortable pants. They fucking. You know, they look great with sneakers. That was the only reason why I fucked with them so heavy. Because I like jeans just don't do it for me anymore, bro. It's not
you
about
don't
it.
like it shit that cover the tongue.
Yeah, bro. You gotta see the tongue, bro.
Yeah, you gotta see the whole.
Bro, have you seen like I'm a fan of these motherfucking Sakai's. Nigga, I got 2 tongues to rep now. I'm not fucking with you, pants leg. I'm not fucking with that. But I don't know because are we? So all right, let's just talk about hip hop streetwear.
All right.
So like, what's a hip hop streetwear brand? We're just gonna say like shit like Coogee, shit like Fat Farm.
Yes, because when it stopped being segregated, there was no longer the difference. I feel like.
Bro, I can't forget about FUBU, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys, what about? Because I didn't hear anything about this FUBU collab. Like, nigga, who's still like FUBU's still a thing? I thought it was done.
FUBU has always been a thing. It's not as popping as it used to be, bro.
That's something that
once in your life you had a football jersey, bro.
I mean, bro.
It's something we all grew up on.
Yeah.
And then it moved to Burlington.
Yeah.
It was always there, but then as like people started bringing back that Afrocentric vibe and like just spirit about being proud of our culture. For example, like Solange, where I think she has a song called FUBU, obviously for us by us.
Yep.
And I guess it's starting to be appropriated in some fashion because for me, it's like Forever 21 having a collab with FUBU it's weird.
It's offensive in my
It's kind of
mind.
offensive, but also think about this, like for us by us, shouldn't everybody? Well,
shouldn't be for everybody.
yeah, shouldn't everybody have access to it?
Exactly.
Maybe not for everybody, but at least everyone should have access to it. And Forever 21 allows that, you know?
Oh, okay. I get. Okay, that's your more progressive side with this.
Everyone meaning class-wise.
Yeah, everybody should be having. This should be like open game to everybody.
Yes,
Nobody.
because FUBU at a time was not everyone could have it.
I mean, like yeah. I mean, you could go get it, but like
You had to have the money. I mean, everything.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Damn.
Man.
Fucking FUBU, bro.
Fucking FUBU, nigga.
I mean, they had a collab a while ago with Baby Fat.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bring back the tracksuits.
No, wait. Say the name one more time.
Baby
Fat?
Fat.
Yeah. Damn.
It
Okay.
remind you of that girl with them dirty flaming hot Cheeto fingers.
No, out literally
in the morning.
with
And with with the fake fur on the top of the hoodie. Yeah, that was
Oh
her.
my fucking god, bro.
No, it reminds you of Air Force Ones.
Yes.
Keeping your Air Force
No, and
Ones.
she not only did she have on black Air Force Ones, her breast smelled like a whole 10 pounds and bounced that ass, bro. Straight up.
Dill pickle with the hot sauce.
Dill pickle plus flaming hots equals bounce that ass. That shit gross. Shout out to her though, I guess.
Sure. Sorry, continue though. I like this weird rabbit hole that we're going on for this.
Okay, where do I got lost at the bounce that at? Oh. Just like, I guess it was really the growth of fast fashion. Because like today, when I saw the FUBU X Forever 21, I also saw this designer, I think he might be in Philly or New York, who does a lot of tattoos, and he posted a picture of how basically Shein took one of his designs for his sweatpants that he's been selling. And this is just a dude who literally just makes money by selling tattoo designs. And I guess Shein got wind of this design and stole it. And at the end of the day, it's literally Shein. And they're obviously doing basically like drop shipping and stuff like that, getting it from other places. So it's like, how the fuck is this dude supposed to sue them?
Yeah. Damn.
He can't even
even
monetize off
do
that.
anything
Yeah, that's
and
wild.
Damn, I almost forgot about the aspect of fast fashion. And I think it's definitely watered down the game. It's dramatically watered down the game.
It's that access. It's like, obviously, we want everybody to feel included. But should everyone have access? I don't know.
Look, all I'm saying is we're going to do this. Can we please, Nike, start doing this for sneakers? Like, God damn, I'm tired of playing Pokemon with my sneakers. Actually, trying to play Pokemon. You can't catch them all.
Bro, I just want some basketball shoes. Some of these niggas that be getting these shoes, that be flipping these shoes, don't even be wearing these bitches, bro.
No.
That's sickening.
It's just because then it goes
Sickening.
back to that.
That's just money, though.
That isn't really, I guess in some fashions, it's a problem with streetwear, but it really turned with just like sneaker releases and those releases, it turned into people like killing each other.
Yeah, it got
for
out of hand.
real.
It's always been out of
It got
control.
out of hand.
Seriously, man.
It's the popularity and the things like that. And I mean, you know, sneakers are a giant ass part of fucking rap culture. Like, I mean, bro, it's a big status to say, you know, what you got for these kind of sneakers. And like, but it's also been such a profitable thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's been a weird, dark baby.
A weird dark baby.
Because think about back in the day, pretty much if you stood in line, you would most likely get a pair of shoes.
Oh, 110%.
For sure.
Now there's
But
barely
still,
any
there
line.
was still rarity at that time.
Yeah, no, there was there was still rarity, a lot of rarity, and people weren't actually really. From my knowledge, at least, resale again with the internet wasn't where it is now.
Yeah,
so
it was
like
just eBay, really.
Yeah. So like, I feel like reselling wasn't as like crazy as it is now, especially when you have giant ass markets like StockX that have monetized it, which in my opinion have even made the resale market worse than what already it is or was.
And that's only for new shoes, right?
Man,
Yes.
don't even get
But they
me
now
started.
set the new pretty much market standard. So I feel like a lot of people like base that off of like, you know, what they see on StockX, like, oh, this is the general value that I can get for it, which I don't feel like is always necessarily the thing. And that's why you always gotta, yes, this is not my tutorial of how to buy streetwear at a decent fuck. I hate, because I just think about it, it's a weird thing, but fuck StockX, that's all I'm gonna say. And my train was lost at that.
Do you ever check out GOAT or the GOAT?
Yeah, but I'm not crazy about it. I really like that app. The
I
pictures
tried,
look
I tried it.
shitty.
It's about the same as how he feels about StockX.
Yeah, because GOAT has used.
What's
Yeah,
the
but I
name?
like Braille to that
I was
point.
just about to say that. He put me onto there, bro. My
Really?
whole favorites list is lit.
Yeah.
like,
No,
bro,
Braille is
like,
fantastic.
oh
Yeah.
my god. bro.
Grail's a good one for people
Yeah.
trying to get into it. But I also think, like, again, with fast fashion, the originality has kind of gone away. And I think rappers have, like, they've inspired it, but now it's also, too, remember, there's a point, they're rapping about a lot of brands that, like, people can't get. And I'm starting to see, though, more, like, high-end stuff start to show up on people. So I don't know, niggas just bust out a whole paycheck for these Balenciaga shoes or what, but like, and they're so smack. I hate designer sneakers so much. But I feel like that's just kind of where it's happened. Like rap music is just kind of shifting towards that now. Like it's almost like it's getting away from streetwear in a way. Not the poor man streetwear, at least.
I feel like as long as it doesn't take away from the music.
It's sorry, go on.
I feel like it does. If it doesn't take, as long as it doesn't take away from their music, I feel like it'll always, because I feel like it'll always be here to stay. But I feel like a lot of times when you focus on, like in it, for example, in Rocky's case, like how we was talking, he could be the biggest of all time if he was more so focused on his rhymes than his fashion. Like,
is golf streetwear?
it was. I feel like it started out as streetwear, but y'all are more big fans of it than me.
Golf, I would say, conceptually is streetwear. I just don't know what the popularity is, because it very much is like Tyler's version of Supreme.
But I feel like it's also like his version of high fashion as well.
I wouldn't even. I think what I'm also thinking. I'm thinking more about it stylistically, because I think if it's just like, are we saying sweater vest or streetwear?
Well, that's only a new thing.
I feel like, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like it balances on that line of like high fashion with when he puts together certain things. Because like you said, you wouldn't wear a sweater vest on some daily shit, a party or streetwear. I don't think.
But people do.
There are people who do, but I feel like, I guess it. I don't know. I feel like it varies. Yeah.
I feel like the sweater vest wasn't like traditionally always in the closet with streetwear stuff, and it was a little bit more you know.
That's what I was shooting at.
But now a lot of the people who are getting tired of not being able to get shoes and shit like that, they're moving to some of these more comfortable things, like you saying, the sweats, to vintage, obviously, to like people wearing Crocs and the unpopularity of that.
Yeah.
The loafers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just moved. Oh, New Balances, like all that stuff. It's just people are moving in a different direction, and those are the people who are looking for the vintage sweater vest or the 1930s hoodie. Like,
Word.
Yeah, I guess it is the alternative route to kind of go, and it's working. It's like becoming the new style. So I the sweater vest, I don't know, I'm still maybe on that one, but the rest of golf I kind of get for sure. Yeah. It's just like, you know, you just add your edge to it, but like it's all subjective. It's kind of whatever.
Because varsity jackets.
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily say those are.
Those are getting brought back.
We would say that would be more preppy.
Yeah, that was preppy all day. The football players, bro.
Yeah.
Like
straight up.
Wow, shit. Huh, interesting. Culture, part 1.
No, I'm about to say we need at least 3 more episodes of this.
I mean, it is. But no, trust me, it's part 1.
I'm about to say we got to bring back questions we already answered in this episode. Like, there's layers.
So many layers.
Parlee at Rap Parlee.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody as always. Once again, Bruce Midnight, H2O, Mr. Zachariah Sanchez.
You bitch, you did.